and let us all do we can to build a better future.
Everyone, just calm down. Just calm down. We gotta lie to people. We gotta pretend. Daniel, I know you're a matter-of-fact kind of guy.
Yeah.
It's either you're certain or you're not. I am also adopting the policy.
Time out. What's the other option for other people?
Well, you could pretend.
Then they're not. So they're certain or they're not. What's the other option?
Uncertain?
That's not being certain.
I don't know. Well, look.
So I'm different than most people. I'm either certain or I'm not.
There you go. Well, yeah, you're a matter-of-fact kind of
Yeah,
guy, so there
that's
you
true.
go. But see, here's the thing, though. Like, what installs confidence, though, Dan? Like, saying like, hey, this is what's going to happen on this day, and it has to, and it has to be, and we got to make sure everything's done correctly, so it works properly. Mm-hmm. But if we miss any of these steps, step 1, 2 through 4, nothing's going to work right. We can't pretend it to work if it doesn't work, right? And apparently, and this is a policy I'm also adopting too. No more lies. And also, matter of fact, be honest, straightforward. Don't give me this BS of lying or pretend. Pelosi and Hoyer to progressives. Just pretend Democrats are winning, even if corporate lobbyists are. So, progressives, just calm down. We feed people. I'm eating my ice cream.
We pretend to feed people.
We pretend, there we go. We pretend to feed people. We pretend to care about people. We pretend to care about the $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill. Just calm down. Okay, just calm down. I gotta drink my mimosas now.
Hey, Nancy, that's a bong. Just calm down.
Just calm down. So apparently Democrats right now, or especially the Democratic leadership, have advised House progressives behind closed doors Monday night that they better start acting like they are getting a major win, even if the reality is that President Joe 303's signature domestic infrastructure plan seems on the verge of being gutted beyond recognition.
So remember when we were saying before that it's like we really were like, hey guys, if you don't get this bill or close to what you're asking for, you got to start putting up a real ruckus, be real roadblocks, because they just backhanded everything that you stood for. And if you decide to simply go along with them and continue as if everything is fine, then you no longer, the progressives cease to exist. They are no longer, they've just melded into the greater democratic order.
Yes, and again, the reason why it's being gutted is because of the aggressive assault by corporate lobbyists and the obstructionism of a small handful right-wing lawmakers within the party. Not the GOP, but conservative Democrats. If we hold on. This is from House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer, Democrat. If we don't act like we are winning, the American people won't believe it either. So you want to lie. You just want to just tell people, hey, we're just going to lie to everybody. And, of course, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi also suggests that spinning the current situation, one in which the initial $6 trillion ambition to invest in the nation's crumbling physical infrastructure and care economy over 10 years has reportedly reduced by relentless corporate pressure down to something between 1.5 and 2 trillion will be necessary. So, again, compromise the 3.5 or what was originally $6 trillion investment, the compromise was compromised again, lowered down again, compromised again to 3.5, then compromised now to what, 2.5 to 1.5 now?
And they're taking out like the really important, like, I don't know, Medicaid negotiating, drug prices part, or the community college tuition covered, which would have been really big for a lot of Americans part. That's just gone. Those kind of really important core parts, and everything else has been cut down to nothing.
After Senator Joe Manchin and Senator Kyrsten Sinema, both in their own way, but also with the backing of huge sums of campaign donations from Wall Street, Big Pharma, and right-wing Koch network and the fossil fuel industry, have stood against the ambitions and popular policies embraced by Congressional Progressive Caucus, Pelosi suggested to her members Monday that it was time to admit that the corporate influence campaign has won the game. And
she's counting money as she's saying that.
No, she's like, look, they won the game. And here's a quote from her. She says, "Embrace it. Embrace this. Embrace this," Pelosi reportedly said during the same closed-door meeting, and have a narrative of success. So what's the success then? At the bare minimum, we need to invest $10 trillion in our infrastructure. All right. But no. What was her plan? They have no plan. So what does he embrace? And what is the new vision of success that Democrats should be touting, especially progressives in the 95-member Congressional Progressive Caucus, who have so far been heralded for holding the line against the internal sabotage by Manchin, Sinema, and other corporate Democrats. As of this writing, the hope for 12 weeks of paid family leave has dwindled down to just 4 weeks. Okay, well, again, our lawmakers have wonderful benefits.
By the way, a shout out to CNN and the others. Now the bill has been tanked to start talking about what was in the bill for once rather than what it cost.
Or perhaps none at all. Because, hey, why give them 4 weeks when you can give them 0?
Yeah.
Zero's a number, Daniel.
It is.
After all, hey, better yet, what's better than 0? Negative 0%. Don't argue with me for facts, because I just made that up. Because that doesn't exist.
If you have to take time off, you owe us a week's wages.
No, Daniel. If you take time off, you get fired. You don't get unemployment. You don't get jack.
That's fair.
Okay, so there you go. The promise of Medicare expansion is in serious doubt, with dental on the chopping block and industry-friendly voucher now replacing full coverage on hearing and eye care, though Manchin opposes even this industry giveaway. And the drug pricing portion possibly out entirely, because guess who's against lowering prescription drug prices? That's right, the oh-so-wonderful activist, former Green Party member and progressive, Senator Kyrsten Sinema from Arizona.
Yeah, again, like progressives, quote unquote, if you don't stand up and destroy this bill, like you said you would a month ago, there is no hope. We drop all pretense of you guys having maybe something. Again, like this was what I thought that this is the one thing that the reason that they've not been doing anything at all to this point is that they were waiting for something. You guys remember I said that early on. And now here it is. Now they said they're going to put their foot down. They're not going to let this pass. They're going to, if this bill doesn't pass, nothing passes. They're going to put their foot down. So I'm going to say to progressives again, if you're watching this, man, you do not want to let this fail. You're going to be, by the way, a bunch of you guys are going to be redistricted out of existence anyway when they redraw the gerrymander lines. You're not going to get anything. You're going to be seen as failures to everyone, and you're going to destroy a bunch of the movement. Congratulations, your failures.
And by the way, again, continuing on climate, the Democrats' plan has been massacred by Manchin, who has also received a generous $400K donation from the fossil fuel industry.
That's good of him.
Also going on, and in August, when it still seemed like Democrats might be able to push something through equal to the ambition outlined by President Joe Biden and bolstered by progressives like Senator Bernie Sanders and other progressive members of Congress, the Washington Post among those who reported that corporate America was launching a massive lobbying blitz to kill key parts of the economic recovery plan focused on lifting up the nation's working families devastated by a pandemic and years of neglect. So again, our politicians are, again, abandoning us, and this is happening under a Democratic administration. See, the thing is, what I want to ask the Biden-Harris administration, since you sat down with Sinema and Manchin for so long, having hours upon hours, days upon days of conversations with them, how weak are you in negotiating with U.S. senators who are supposed to be in your political party? How weak are they that they can't get their own bill done? How disorganized are the Democrats that they can't even form any kind of party unity? And progressives in the United States House and Senate. I'm going to first single out AOC and Bernie Sanders. Is Biden still exceeding expectations? Are the Democrats still doing such a fantastic job? Was it worth it to compromise? Was it really worth it just to say all these honey words to the Democrats after right now they're just crapping on this bill that was originally supposed to be at $7 trillion? And again, it really should have been a little bit higher, bare minimum 10. But they gutted it. They killed it. Like, what's the point of even passing for it? If you really want to show solidarity and support, if you want to earn my respect, just vote no on it. Because it's not going to do a goddamn thing. And don't let Nancy AOC bully you or make you cry on the House floor. They gutted something that you've been touting for months. And now we get to this point, and they absolutely destroyed it. Daniel.
Well, it's, again, this is, Democrats are shooting themselves in the foot. We were just reading CNN make their pontificating point that they're going to lose about 37 seats. It's going to be a lot more if Biden goes through all this and doesn't pass anything. I can't think of an easier way to guarantee a Trump presidency.
Well, Trump's going to run again in 2024. If he doesn't, well, I'll be surprised. But Nancy, when you have to tell people, pretend that it's a win, pretend and lie, embrace it, that doesn't inspire voters to come out to vote. And it even doesn't even inspire some of your diehard supporters to tell people, oh, let's all vote Democrat. We have to lie and pretend. So it's like if the studio's on fire and I'm turning down and say, hey, this is fine. Don't worry about the fire. It's just a little warm in here. Pretend that it's okay. Pretend that your skin's not melting off. Pretend that we're not in absolute danger. That's what Nancy Pelosi, she's telling us all to pretend. Just pretend. And AOC, are you really, AOC, Ilhan Omar, Rashid Tlaib, are you really going to just pretend? Are you really just going to out up lie and just say that this is all fine? The progressives and there's 95 members
I'm
of
actually
the Progressive Caucus.
Marvin has a good point to your points. It's not, hey, there's a fire in here, let's pretend nothing's happening. It's us going, hey guys, audience, guess what? We just got a new sustainable source of heat in the studio.
And everyone probably didn't type in chat, no, get out of there, you fools, it's a fire! AOC, and to your other fellow progressives, you want to earn some respect? Vote no on this. They gutted it, and Nancy, the person, mind you, especially to the 15 congressmen and women who are on the forced to vote petition, you voted for Nancy to be Speaker of the House, and she can't even fight for the thing that you all said that you care about. What do you owe her now? You don't owe her a goddamn thing. And Bernie, my goodness, Bernie. Look, I respect that you got people involved in politics. That you inspired us to get involved in politics. But my goodness, if this is what you compromised to drop out in the 2020 election, was it worth it? Was it really worth it just to abandon your supporters and to go with your good friend Joe Biden? You know, mind you, you did call him that, your good friend, your good pal. Was it worth it?
Yeah, we're expecting, even though we don't expect it, we are expecting Bernie specifically to block this bill because he said he would. We don't expect him to follow through with it, but we do expect him to do it nonetheless. Because that's just really goddamn pathetic if the reason that you dropped out of the presidential election was for a bill that they've just gutted in front of you. Just get on all fours and run around like a dog if this is what you're okay with.
Yeah.
You're not speaking out about it. You're not. By the way, none of the progressives at all have tried to even go online. I'm granted they're going to have a harsh reception on most shows, but they've sort of earned it by boycotting and blackballing all these shows anyway. So take your lumps.
Yeah. Exactly.
If you don't pass this, you can still make a point to all your constituents. You can still say they were going to strip public assets away from you. I would never vote for a bill like that. You can say that. It's more truthful than what Nancy's saying.
Yeah. And on top of that as well, Bernie, if you really, really don't vote no on this, I think that's, I've always, I don't want to say this like, all right, well, that's it. I got to just lose my association or anything or any kind of respect I have.
You still have to have a bridge so we can run across and yell at them.
Yeah. It's just, my goodness, Bernie, if this was the compromise, what a horrible deal that you took. And I call into question right now then how serious he was actually running in 2016 and in 2020.
Yeah.
Wasting if you vote yes on this, you wasted all of our time. And it's something. Good luck in 2022 because I'm going to vote third party. And if vote blue, no matter who wants to say I'm a bad guy, well then whatever. I'm only human. We all make mistakes.
If we're bad guys, who are they?
Ugh, because if they're the heroes, I'm so
I wouldn't
sorry.
even go that far. I'm just saying, if we're bad guys, who are they?
Yeah, exactly.